Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and this year will be full of wonders for people who are interested in Egyptology, as Egypt has announced major tourist events that will be held throughout 2022. And to know more on this issue, we're glad to be joined over the phone by Ahmad Badr, tour guide, to know more about the latest events that took place in Abu Simbel and other events that will be taking place throughout the year. Good afternoon, Mr. Ahmad.
Good afternoon to you and all the audience.
Mr. Ahmad, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Right, yes. Sir, how do you assess Swan celebration marking the fascinating sun alignment that took place recently, this sun alignment phenomena?
Well, first of all, it's not just a phenomenon, it's a miracle. It's an engineering miracle. It's a human miracle that was made more than 3,000 years ago by our grandfathers, grandparents, the great ancient Egyptians.
Yes.
So celebrating this phenomena each year twice, it will help boost tourism to Egypt, because this is something the whole world is looking for, and so many people want to come and see it by themselves. So it helps the flow of tourism to Aswan and Abu Simbel, especially Abu Simbel, of course, twice a year, 22nd of February and 22nd of October. Because Abu Simbel it gave more than just the temples of Abu Simbel, with all the amazing scenery and nature over there. So definitely this celebration will help boost the flow of tourism to Abu Simbel, especially after the low period of, the period of the COVID-19, with
Yes.
almost 3 years of very low business. So this is definitely something great.
Yes. Sir, how far would maximizing the role of soft power help in supporting and revitalizing the tourist movement in Egypt?
Well, the soft powers of each country is different things. It's the art of the country, it's the culture of the country, it's the history of the country. It's many things. So tourism, especially in Egypt, has always been one of the greatest soft powers of Egypt. Not just now, but also during the ancient times. If you look through the history, you will see that Egypt was a destination for either travelers or for people who are looking for learning. And they used to come to Egypt to learn from scientists and the priests, which they were having all the science that helped them building the great monuments like the pyramids and temples. So definitely having again these celebrations,
Yes.
as it's known in the world that there are so many countries they do celebrations like this, and different celebrations, celebrate and a day of history, celebrate the carnival, celebrate anything. It helps to bring more tourists and put the country in a better position in the international tourism calendar
Yes.
on the world. So again, having more tourists come to Egypt and enjoy their time and go back with great memories, this will help in two things: maximizing our soft powers, so people will get attached to Egypt and they will want to come again. And so many they do this, and also they will become like what we say, ambassadors to Egypt or great marketeers to Egypt to bring other travelers and tourists to Egypt.
Yes. Right. Well, as part of the preparations for the sun alignment phenomena, Abu Simbel temples were provided with 64 surveillance cameras, also other preparations like electronic gates and security X-ray devices ahead of the sun alignment phenomena on King Ramses II statue. How do you assess all these measures prepared and for the readiness of this important phenomenon?
The temple of Symbol inside is not that big, so we have hundreds and thousands of tourists. They go to see this phenomena each year, twice a year. So the premises of the temple inside itself can only take few tourists. I'd say maximum 100, 150. So definitely having all these cameras and screens to show the tourists what's going on lively, definitely it's a great thing. And also it's part of the security for the tourists themselves and for the temple. Now, all over the world, security is becoming a major issue. So definitely ensuring the safety and security of Egypt visitors is something great to be done, and it's something we have to do. It's so people will feel safety and secured. So that again will help to bring more and more and more tourists.
Right. Also, among the preparations taken ahead of the celebration was providing golf cars to transport guests from the gates to the temple's internal courtyards. Now, how do you assess this type of transportation using golf cars to facilitate the movement of tourists, even elderly people who would like to visit?
Well, I just hope this will be throughout the year, not just today.
Yes.
Because the destination between the parking lot and the temple is quite long, going back and forth.
Yes.
So we have so many, like you said, the elder tourists.
Yes, elderly tourists who would love to visit exactly. These places, of course.
Exactly. These small things are, along with having shades, along with having places to rest, along with having clean bathrooms. All these things are, what we call the wraparound services. It's important to have sites and museums and everything, but these services make things easier for the travelers to go and see it, and will encourage even more people to come and see. So I hope really this will go throughout the year, not just today.
Yes.
Which was great, but it will be even greater and better if they just provide it throughout the year.
Yes. Moving on to Cairo, the city of Cairo has been chosen as this year's capital of culture for the Islamic world. How do you assess this and its significance, and what are the activities that could be held during the holy month of Ramadan, for example?
Ramadan in Egypt is like no other place. We have like what we say, something in the air, all during the holy month of Ramadan. Even the fanus, the famous Egyptian lantern, which we all have in our homes, all in the streets. This is something that you can find only in Egypt. So this is some people, they are, a bit hazy about coming to Egypt during this time. Of course, I'm not talking about the, our fellow Arab brothers from the Arab world. They love to come and spend some time Egypt in Ramadan, but I'm talking about the foreigners, Europeans, Americans, Asians. So what we tell them is, no, you can come. It's the same. It's just the only difference is the site close a bit earlier, but then you'll have, if you go just down the street, you'll be amazed with the life we have during, especially during evenings of Ramadan. You will enjoy and you will see a culture that is not be seen anywhere else. This is just a pure Egyptian culture that we inherited 1,000 years ago, and I'd say even more, because this is even taken from the ancient Egyptian way of celebrating their feast. So
Yes.
we just took it and we done a little bit modifications, and we celebrate Ramadan with it. So definitely I'll encourage everybody to come and spend some time in Ramadan here.
Right, right. Well, sir, how do you see the significance of developing touristic areas like the pyramids area, the Grand Egyptian Museum area? Would you please shed light on the most remarkable features of the state's plan for developing those touristic areas?
The Grand Egyptian Museum itself is amazing project. The whole world is looking for to be opened. I hope it will be open this year or next year maximum, because this is becoming the highlight of the visit even before it's open. And we see with a museum like the Museum of Egyptian Civilization, where we moved the mummies, that it became also an important part of the visit. So opening new places is not, I want to say, is something important to add more attractions and do more publicity and marketing to Egypt outside. So the whole area, the Grand Egyptian Museum and the pyramids, is to be I would say transformed to what it deserves to be, especially the pyramids, which is the greatest monument built by human ever.
Yes.
And it will stay like this forever. So definitely it needs and it deserves more attention, more
yes.
hands, more services around. Like we, I was just.
Right. Well, I would like to thank you very much.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Well, I would like to thank you very much, Mr. Ahmad Badr, tour guide. Many thanks for your